The last 7 haven't been so lucky for the hometown team. Struggles at the plate and on the mound have all come at the same time. We turn the next page in the calendar as we enter June and look for a turnaround for the Phillies in all areas during the 3rd month of the season. One of the toughest competitors in baseball takes the mound as the Reds arrive, but the National League team he struggles with the most really needs a win. Baseball and bobbleheads. It's become a fixture around ballparks in Major League Baseball the last several years. And tonight, the vintage bobblehead being given out thanks to the folks at WIP and WPHT here in Philadelphia. A great giveaway to start a 3-game series between the Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds limped through the month of May, although they've won 3 straight. The Phillies, meanwhile, limped to the end of May with a 7-game losing streak. .210 batting average. Look at the numbers with runners in scoring position, 7 for 48, and the starters and the bullpen both have been struggling for the Phillies. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ben Davis and Matt Stairs. The band is back together for this series against the Cincinnati Reds. And, Matt, you weren't here this past weekend, so we figured we'd give you the offense and see if you could figure things out as the Phillies continue to struggle with runners in scoring position.
Well, they really have, and it all comes down to pitch selection. And I've talked about it all year. I find that the hitters right now are swinging at the pitcher's pitch instead of being aggressive in the zone and waiting for their pitch. And it happened on Sunday in the 7th inning, bases loaded. Great opportunity to go out there and get some runs, but really they weren't aggressive early in the count. Now, Taker Brown was on some very good sinkers, but he came in and basically blew all the hitters away. First 2 hitters with fastballs, Ben Rivera with the changeup. Again, it comes back to you have to make contact. In the 7-game losing streak, they have 9 walks, 62 strikeouts. So really, they got to cut down their swings, put the ball in play, and you can see the numbers right there. It's been terrible, especially the last 4 games. 24 runners left on base.
15 home runs allowed by the Phillies pitchers and only 1 home run hit by the Phillies offense, which is the fewest in Major League Baseball. All right, the Phillies hope their tide turns in this series against the Reds, but the first guy they faced, they've had a lot of success against, Ben, but this guy is a really good pitcher.
Johnny Cueto is excellent, but he has a bad ERA here at Citizens Bank Park. He's got an ERA over 7 here at CBP. When you take a look, active starting pitchers in the National League, Johnny Cueto in the top 5. So with a 3.26, he's a very good pitcher, has 5 pitches he throws very effectively, but it's his fastball that sets him apart. He has an old-school Louis Tion wind up, and he really hides the ball well, can run it inside and out, can throw all 5 pitches whenever he'd like to both sides of the plate, but it's his fastball, very explosive fastball, and the fact that he hides the ball very well that makes him so good.
And he's been out the last couple of times through the rotation because of a tender elbow, but he did throw a bullpen session on Sunday, and they feel like he is ready to go on a cool night here in South Philadelphia. It's Game 1 between the Phils and the Cincinnati Reds. It's Cueto, his 10th start overall, and Sean O'Sullivan making his 7th start for the Phillies. You want to talk about a guy that is giving up home runs. His last outing, he got hit around against the New York Mets. He's going to try to keep the ball in the ballpark, and the first step is keeping Todd Frazier in the ballpark. He's had a great start power-wise to 2015. When we return, we'll give you the lineups for the Phils and the Reds, and also the first pitch. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Lime, the perfect beer for whatever happens. By Toyota, where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By Citizens Bank, one deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IVX.com. has caused us to lose our view of Center City, except for that camera shot right there. Back inside Citizens Bank Park, the rain is falling ever so lightly. The umpires are at home plate. They've already exchanged the lineup cards for tonight's ball game, so we're going to give it a go, despite the fact that it's been raining most of the day here in the Delaware Valley. The Hardy bunch that they are have settled into their seats, and here come the Philadelphia Phillies with Sean O'Sullivan coming out to the mound to make the start tonight for the Phils. O'Sullivan enters this game with a 1-4 record. Let's take a look at the Reds starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Leading it off at second base, the veteran Brandon Phillips. Joey Votto bats second. Todd Frazier hits third. Jay Bruce is the cleanup hitter. He'll be in right field. Brian Pena, the catcher, bats fifth. Marlon Byrd back in town with the Reds now, hitting sixth. In the bottom third of Cozart, Cueto, and Billy Hamilton. They will face right-hander Sean O'Sullivan. We mentioned 1 win, 4 losses. This will be his 7th start. 9 home runs allowed so far. And Ben, we saw it the other day against the Mets. They were kind of teeing off against Sean O'Sullivan.
They were, and he has to pitch a contact, and if he's not down, I know we're beating a dead horse this, but if he's not down, he's not going to be effective. We take a look at the Budweiser scouting report. The velocity is not going to be overpowering, but he has to be able to throw his all-speed pitches behind in the count with that change curve and the slider. He has been good at home with a 2.65 ERA, so hopefully he can keep that going.
Overall with the Phillies, 1-5 with a 5.24 ERA.
Well, it's time for the Nissan keys to the game, and since I've been away, I'll start it off. Key for me today is the Phillies hitters more contact. Last 7 games, 62 strikeouts.
And for me, it's Franco needs to chill out. Big deep breath, relax, let the game come to him, and not be so over-aggressive at the plate, but take a swing that's under control. So hopefully he can chill out a bit.
We know that it's his position, so he's going to be out there. Once he relaxes, the Phillies think that he is going to hit on a consistent basis.
But that's the key. We know that it's his position. Does he realize it's his position?
That's true.
And is he still trying to do too much to impress people instead of relaxing, like Ben said, chill out, relax, and slow the game down a little bit?
Well, Brandon Phillips will lead things off. Phillips hitting .291, 3 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He had a very good month of May average-wise. The Reds were kind of in the same predicament the Phillies were. They struggled during the month of May and then ended in a flurry with 3 consecutive victories over the Nationals. And the first pitch of the night. And it's hit foul past the third base coach's box. And it's 0-1. Sean O'Sullivan in his last outing did not last into the 6th inning. He allowed 11 hits and 7 earned runs. He gave up 4 home runs to the Mets. That one's off the hands into left field, a base hit. So Brandon Phillips is aboard. He comes out hacking. And the leadoff hitter is at first. And that will bring Joey Votto to the plate. Votto hitting .282 with 9 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Obviously has good numbers against the Phillies during his career.
And I don't think you'll see an aggressive swinger like Brandon was the first hitter. Joey's a very patient hitter up at home plate.
Lays off the first pitch fastball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Is that because he's Canadian?
Oh my gosh, Ben, I was thinking the same thing.
We're double team him early here, T-Back.
One ball and no strikes to Joey Votto. That one's in there, 1-1. Reds signed Votto to a long-term deal a couple of years ago. I think you would say that .282 is kind of light for him at this point in the season. Quick throw over, and Phillips is back.
It is. I mean, he's been a guy that's usually hitting over 300. But I think the most important thing for him is to get back to those power numbers like they used to be. He's got 9 home runs and 24 RBIs. Playing in that bandbox in Cincinnati should hit that 9 home runs per month.
I think the Reds fans probably think the same about him and Jay Bruce, who's up after Todd Frazier. Frazier in the on-deck circle. 2 balls, 1 strike to Votto. Well, it's really coming down now. Phillies set up to turn 2, although they do play Votto to pull. And Phillips falls back to the bag. He's going to need himself a new uniform pretty soon. See Freddie Galvis shaded toward the middle. Franco off the line at third.
Which is a good scouting report. Votto gets a lot of ground balls to the right side, and the majority of the balls he hits in the air are to left center or right center.
Pulls that one past Ryan Howard down the right field line. It dies in the grass but still gets to the corner. Phillips over to third. He's being waved home. He's going to score easily. And stopping at second with an RBI double is Joey Votto, and the Reds strike first. It's 1-0 here in the top of the first.
Well, this team has been swinging the bats very well, especially over the last 3 ball games, and they show no signs of slowing down right now. Hopefully Sean can work down and get some outs here, but now this is a pitch supposed to be outside, ends up down in it, and we know that is the nitro zone for lefties, and he rifles one down the right field line.
Yeah, Ryan Howard had no chance because that ball got on him pretty quick, and it scooted off the grass. Well, now Todd Frazier's coming up. Frazier with 16 home runs, second in the National League. 31 runs batted in. They're going to peel first base, safe at first. So Joey Votto was able to hit the bag as he went to second. Todd Frazier today was named the National League Player of the Week with his .500 batting average and 4 home runs. And he's out front of that first pitch. He pops it up right near the mound. And Freddie Galvis makes the call at the end. Boy, for a moment I thought O'Sullivan was going to make that catch.
Why don't they just get out of there? Just sprint somewhere and just stay there. Go back up third.
I'll be honest with you, for a moment I thought he was the only one that was in the area.
But he does a nice job pointing where it is. Everyone knows it's up. But I agree with you, Ben. Get out of the way.
He almost ran towards Freddie.
Well, 1 out, and here's Jay Bruce with Votto at second base. Little out in front of that one. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Jay Bruce last year hit 18 home runs. He has 7 this season for the Reds. His walk percentage is up this year. It's the highest it's ever been in his career. 26 walks already. So he's on pace for nearly 100 walks this season. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I would really like to see Sean run one up and in on one of these guys. These guys are taking some hacks up there. Very comfortable at bats right now.
How much do you think that's based on the scouting report from his last outing against the Mets, where he was out over the plate a little bit against New York?
Well, he throws a lot of strikes, but I agree with Ben. You have to make them feel uncomfortable.
A little low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ben, to answer your question, the reason why they don't throw up and in is 2015. The game's changed.
This is true.
One ball, 2 strikes to Jay Bruce. And a breaking ball just missed inside, 2-2. This was a strike for a good portion of its trek to the plate.
It's a good pitch. I mean, it's maybe just a little bit inside, but I think when it crossed home plate, it's a strike.
How do you not swing at it? Unless he was just completely fooled. That's what I'm thinking. He was just very fooled by the pitch.
See if they throw a changeup here to Jay Bruce. They do, and he fouls it away.
And when Sean O'Sullivan is on, his changeup is very hard to hit. Same arm slot, difference of about 8-9 miles an hour. And the league is hitting 091 versus his changeup when it's going well.
Yeah, so far this year, it's the pitch he's used the third most, next to the cutter and the fastball. And again, just a bit inside, and now 3-2. Brian Pena waits on deck. Votto's still at second base, and there's ball 4. So Bruce draws a walk. Puts runners on first and second. Brian Pena will come up again, a runner in scoring position. And Murph, you take a look at these two teams with runners in scoring position. The Phillies, we know all about their struggles.
Runners in scoring position, and really, if you look at them right down the line, two teams having very similar seasons. You know, you mentioned that the Reds are coming in here winning 4 of 5, including that sweep over the Nationals. But take a look at the numbers all season long. Batting average for the Reds just 241, a team batting average 237 for the Phils. Scoring about 4 runs a game are the Reds, the Phils just 3. And then you see the numbers, runners in scoring position. The Phils 219, that is 28th in all of baseball, but the Reds at 202 with runners in scoring position. That has been their biggest problem all season long. They are dead last in the major leagues with getting guys in when they're on base. They have an opportunity here. Phils are hoping that trend continues, guys.
Yeah, the team the Phillies are tied with is that one is lifted out toward left center field. Cody Ashley comes running in and makes the catch. The Seattle Mariners and the Phillies are both tied. So there are 2 outs, and Matt, I think you may have been the one who said that Cody Ashley's biggest issue initially will be communication in the outfields.
Well, and I think it will be. I think you have to realize what your range is in the outfield. You have to make sure you pay attention to where your center fielder's playing, especially the corner guys. You have to. And really, I think a lot of times the center fielders take baseballs and call off the left and right fielders when they shouldn't.
Well, here's Marlon Byrd, played for the Phillies last year. Swings at a high fastball. Byrd 264 last year with 25 home runs, which was a career high. Hitting only 209 this year with the Reds, but does have 10 home runs and 25 runs batted in. So he's not too far off his home run pace from a year ago. He did drive in 17 in the month of May. That one's out toward Ben Revere in right field. And Revere ambles in and now goes to a sprint and puts it away. Side is retired. So 1 run scores on the double by Joey Votto. That's all for Sean O'Sullivan as he leaves 2, and we go to the bottom of the first. loosening up. As we mentioned, he was scratched from his start last Sunday because of a tender elbow. And then this past Sunday threw a bullpen session and says he's ready to go. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. Brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. It's Revere, Galvis, and Utley, followed by Ryan Howard, Maikel Franco, and Cody Ashe. In the bottom third of Herrera, Ruiz, and Sean O'Sullivan. And they will face Cueto, the 29-year-old from San Pedro de Macorís, the Dominican Republic, 3-4, an ERA of 3.03. Well, we've seen him, Matt, now for a number of years. He has been sort of a steadying force for this Reds rotation, which has had a lot of young guys over the years circulate in.
Well, he is. And the thing about him, the Budweiser scouting report, 5-pitch pitcher. He mixes in all 5 pitches. And the league is hitting 0.91 versus his curveball. But you can see he doesn't have very good numbers here. So for me, I like to see these guys not get caught up in the windup. He does, like Ben says, you have the little Louis Dion windup. You do not break your hands and start doing your stance until his shoulders square up towards you.
You wonder how far he's going to be able to go here tonight. He says he's good to go. He said he has no problems after the bullpen session the other day. He said it was a very little issue in his elbow. The MRI didn't show any structural damage. First pitch to Ben Revere is taken outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ben hitting .258, no home runs, 15 runs batted in. He was 1 for 12 in the series against the Rockies. One thing Cueto's doing is he's working pretty quickly right now with nobody on base. Play down the left field line. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You see Ben's hand slip off the bat there. Very awkward swing as he sliced that one down. He's going with the grips tonight.
The lizard skins.
The lizard skins.
Another one fouled off to the left. Well, you know the story by now. The Phillies have lost 7 consecutive games and 9 of 10. During this 7-game losing streak, they've scored only 12 runs total. And they've had 2 runs or less in each of the last 4 games. And I believe that Cueto and Brian Pena thought that that was a strike 3 call, or should have been. Pena was ready to throw it around, and his feet got all out of whack.
A very energetic catcher is Brian Pena.
Whoop. Another one fouled away by Revere.
You could see why Cueto does have elbow issues. Really doesn't get a whole lot of extension through the baseball. He kind of gets to release point and recoils with that elbow. He doesn't really follow through. His recoil is violent.
I guess he's so good with that motion. They may have tried to change him at some point, but he has been so good over the years. 88 career wins. They probably just figured, all right, he's got the whole muscle memory thing down. Fly ball to shallow left center, and Billy Hamilton comes sliding in to make the catch. Well, speed does erase a whole lot, and it just erased that base hit for Ben Revere.
Well, and speed does, well, they said speed kills, but also when you're playing very shallow, he plays a very shallow center field, gets a great jump. Jamie Moore would be very happy with a 2-handed catch. As you see, he's very, very shallow in center field, but he doesn't have to make up for speed because he gets tremendous jumps in the outfield.
So one away. Here's Freddie Galvis. Galvis was 0 for 8 in the series against the Rockies, but his struggles really go back beyond that. Freddie is 4 for his last 29. And he has 13 strikeouts in his last 12 games. So half of his strikeout total has been in the last dozen games. That one's back toward the box, flagged down by Cueto. There are 2 outs.
Freddie just looks like he's kind of feeling for the ball, reaching for it, not trusting himself. I think early on in the season, it almost looks like he's scared to get 2 strikes on him all of a sudden. He didn't have that issue earlier on.
And now with 2 outs, here's Chase Utley. Utley hitting 194. His average has gone up a couple of points since our last game because there was a ball that he hit in Colorado that was ruled an error, and that Major League Baseball has officially changed to a base hit, which,
as they should have,
we thought that was a hit when it happened. They made a couple of changes on that in that series. That one softly up the first base line. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Sheena White of Reading, Pennsylvania. Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game. Then Sheena, Ben, will win $200.
Good luck, Sheena.
Utley bunts toward third. That will be a base hit.
I love it.
Well, everybody that wonders why guys don't do that often, well, a guy like Chase Utley can do that. Not everybody can, but Utley can.
You definitely have to have the bat control, and with that extreme shift, you don't have to be late. You really don't have to fool anybody. As long as you get it down in that vicinity, it's going to be a hit.
All right, now don't expect Ryan Howard to follow suit here. Howard hitting 244. He does have a home run against Cueto.
Kind of interesting to see where Frazier's playing. The 6 hole. Ryan's not hitting the ball over there. If he's hitting the ball in that direction, it's going in the air.
Yeah, if he hits it anywhere on the left side, it's going to be closer to second base. Would you agree?
Right towards the second base umpire.
So to Major League Scoreboard, little day baseball today. Nationals game 1 of a doubleheader defeated the Blue Jays 2-0. Washington now 15-7 at home. They were swept out by the Reds, but they still maintain their lead in the National League East because the Mets lost 2 of 3 to the Miami Marlins. 2 balls, 1 strike to Howard. Pretty good changeup, 2-2.
You're so right, Matt. You just have to react to the baseball and not his arm. Yep. This is where trusting yourself really comes in handy.
A high fly ball to left field. Marlon Byrd dancing around, looking through the raindrops, makes the catch. And the side is retired. No runs. The 1 bunt single by Utley, and a heck of a play by Billy Hamilton. Matt said playing shallow and then closing quickly. Johnny Cueto liked it, and the Reds lead it 1-0. Cincinnati Reds. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. In fact, you can get tickets for tomorrow's ball game and Thursday's game between the Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. We start the top of the second, and Zach Cozart will lead it off. Takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Cozart, a .266 hitter, 6 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Reds as a team have hit 58 home runs this year, which is second most in the National League. They've been with a record below 500 at 22 and 27. Down low again, and it's 2-1.
But a lot of those home runs are not coming with runners in scoring position.
It does seem that way. You're right. There's Brian Price, the manager, the second-year skipper of the Cincinnati Reds, longtime successful pitching coach. Fly ball to left field. Cody Ashe's out there. He waits and puts it away. One out here in the second. That'll bring Johnny Cueto to the plate. Tomorrow night at 6, Derek Gunn and Zach Berman discuss the latest news from the week's Eagles OTAs, including the progress of Sam Bradford and what he's doing to recover from knee surgery. Watch Quick Slants presented by Nissan, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Yes, Johnny Cueto is batting 8th. The pitcher is generally batted 8th in only 6 games. This is number 7 for the Reds, while Billy Hamilton has struggled offensively. Cueto 3 for 14. His overall average at 105.
And yes, Matt and I cannot stand hitting in the 8-hole.
Yeah, I don't get it why it's done so often. Even if Hamilton is struggling, I know it's an extra leadoff guy because then you have the leadoff guy.
Then you hit him first, where he belongs.
Swing and a miss, and they're 2 outs. And essentially, they're taking, on average, 1 at bat away from Billy Hamilton. So the pitcher will probably get up to maybe 3 times, and then the pinch hitter will bat the rest of the time in the 8-hole.
Joe Madden does it just about every game with the Cubs.
And then you see the adjustments with some of the other guys in the lineup, like Votto batting second because of that. Billy Hamilton hitting .223. On May 17th, they dropped him to 8th in the lineup. As we mentioned, this is the 7th time he has started a game as the number 9 batter. This young man finished second last year in the Rookie of the Year balloting, just ahead of Ken Giles. Could bunt at any time, and you got to hurry. Franco has it, throws off balance in time, and I do believe they'll review that one. They'll hold the defense, I would think. Another fantastic defensive attempt by Maikel Franco, and Brian Price is saying, let us review it. It looked pretty close, and it looked like Hamilton had gone past the bag, but we'll take a look with you. And yeah, he's safe. He's safe. So they'll review that one. Tom Hallion and Dan Bellino will take a look at it. Franco did all he could. I mean, there was nothing else he could have done.
No. Unless he played 10 feet in closer.
Very true.
But he makes a very good play. Barehanded throw coming up.
On a wet ground.
And a very strong throw. This won't take very long to turn over here.
All the Phillies are heading back to their positions. That's well they should.
And to make a point, we see again he's safe at first base by quite a bit. Talk about with a safe call. Talk about him hitting 9th and Cueto hitting 8th. I guess hitting 9th is a lot better than hitting 10th.
That is true.
Means you're out of the starting lineup.
That is exactly right. Sounds like Ben's Surface Pro 3 is getting a little out of control over there.
Commercial break.
So Brandon Phillips, who singled and scored his first time up. That was a 42-second review, boys.
I'm just thinking if he would have done that in the 8-hole, he could have
then sacrificed stolen second,
or sacrificed him up, and now he's at second base. So I mean, he will be running.
He has to run with 2 outs.
Right, you have the leadoff batter
exactly.
up now, so he would just lead off if he's caught. Carlos has struggled trying to throw runners out this year. See, the National League leaders, Hamilton and D. Gordon, have a sprint going for the top spot. 21 for Hamilton, 20 for D. Gordon. Last year he stole 56 bags, which as far as he was concerned was light as far as his total goes. It's a breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. You figure that Phillips is going to take a couple here, or at least take a strike.
I don't know, with 2 outs, I mean, if he gets a pitch to hit, he's going to be aggressive with it. But the key is right now is to stop Hamilton's feet moving at first base. He's taking baby steps over at first base, and he's not stopping, and that's how he's getting a read. He keeps on going off a little farther, a little farther. That's why it's so important to hold or quick pitch.
Oh, they've got him. Howard picks it, and Howard will tag him out, and the side is retired. Well, good job by Ryan Howard to scoop it up, and then he got Hamilton caught. Hamilton probably would have been better off just going right to second base with the slick infield, but instead he decides to keep hope alive by using his wheels, and Ryan Howard decided to oblige, and then applies the tag to wrap up the top of the second. Against Johnny Cueto in the bottom of the first inning, Matt.
Well, and one thing about Cueto is he has that big turn. He tries to hide the ball. The key is for a hitter, you do not get caught up in the turn. Now all of a sudden, as he turns a little farther, as soon as his shoulders get straight pointing out towards you right there, that is a normal windup as a pitcher going on. That is when you break your hands and start to get into that power position. He can do all that turning he wants. He can do a backflip. As long as he squares up, that's when he throws the pitch.
Maikel Franco, jam shot over to left side, off the glove of Frazier. And we'll see how they score that. Should be an E5, but it might have been a tough throw for Todd Frazier once he got it.
I actually think they'll give him a hit.
Well, they have scored an error. It's the 6th error of the year.
Well, and it goes back to it's pitch selection right now for Franco, and he gets a fastball inside. As you can see, he just didn't bend over far enough to get it, but it's pitch selection. He's thinking he needs to swing at every pitch, and he got jammed right there, and Unfortunately, Frazier didn't make the play.
Well, now Cody Ashe's hit it 5 straight. He was 4 for 11 in the series against the Rockies. That 5-game hitting streak dates back to before he was sent down to Lehigh Valley. His average has gone from 245 on Friday night to 256, and he rips that one down the right field line. That's in for a base hit going to the corner. Franco got a good jump. He's on his way to third, and he'll be held right there. So that'll put runners on second and third with nobody out, and Odubel Herrera coming up.
Good job of hitting there. It's supposed to be a two-seamer to start off his hip and run back over the old front door sinker, but this ball starts in middle and stays middle. And Cody, very short swing, and rifles that ball down the right field line.
So a 6-game hitting streak for him.
You know, and I will say one thing about Cody Ashe is that him going down to AAA, learning to play left field, coming to the big leagues, learning to play left field, and knowing the ballpark, lets him relax a little bit hitting-wise. Now he's thinking about all defense and going out there and allowing him just to be a very good hitter.
Well, now Odubel Herrera will be the batter. He'll take a changeup for a strike. It's 0-1. There's Franco at third, held by Pete McCannon with nobody out. Was the right move.
Absolutely.
Oh, off the glove of Pena.
Ben, this has to be a scary situation when you're calling, you think you call a pitcher, and you get crossed.
That's the worst. You talk about being in a helpless position. You just expect that low breaking ball, which what you think is a breaking ball is going to continue to break. I'm going to go and block it. No, I'm not going to wear it off my wrist.
It's actually a strike.
It did look like a pretty good pitch. Infield is back with the Reds leading at 1-0. And Odubel takes high, 2-1.
Remember that happened to me one time with Arthur Rhodes. We're going first sign. So the very first sign I put down, that's the sign we're using. I put the 3 down, and then we went through a number of series of signs, and he threw a fastball at 98, and I caught it with my chest protector, knocked the wind out of me. I went out there. I said, Arthur, if we're going first sign, he goes, my bad, I forgot. I said, first sign. It's never. And then this is when it's the next pitch. You're like, oh, that does he have them? Does he have those signs?
Fights it off foul past Franco. Well, it's time to take a look at our T-Mobile game changer. Since 2011, Johnny Cueto has an earned run average of 2.53. Clayton Kershaw leads the way. Chris Sale, who I watched the other day, and I don't know how anybody hits him when he's on, the lefty from the White Sox. There's Cliff still on the shelf, and Felix Hernandez. Ben's always looking for Felix Hernandez. Well, there he is. Inside, good play by Pena, 3-2.
King Felix got lit up last night.
Mark Teixeira.
Teixeira's 5th home run against him.
Total extension too. I mean, arm extension. I mean, he was locked in.
I like the reaction after King Felix threw the pitch. Knew he gave up a grand slam. It's a great vision when a pitcher does that.
Runners lead off second and third. And a slow chopper right side. That'll get the run home. It may get a base hit for Herrera, and he's out at first base. Over to third base goes Cody Ashe. It's an RBI and a ground out. It's a 1-1 ball game.
And it's a great job of hitting right there. Second, third situation, you have to do whatever it takes to get the guys in and get them over. Makes it very close play. This is the one you do in spring training. I actually kick the ball to the left. It looks like he had him at first base. But a very good job of hitting the ball on the right side of the infield and getting him in and getting him over. He got him. You know the reason why he's out there? It's because Joey Votto gave him a perfect feed. He didn't have to slow down and get into first base to cover. And no, not because he's Canadian.
Just because he's a very good first baseman. I knew what you were talking about. Here's Carlos Ruiz, who whacks the first pitch foul. The infield is in. We're tied at 1. That RBI for Odubel is 15th of the season. Carlos has a very quiet 3-game hitting streak going on right now. Last 14 games, he has 13 hits and 46 at bats. Still in search of that first home run of 2015. He was fooled on that pitch.
Front door cutter.
Foul tip, and Ruiz is struck out. First strikeout for Cueto, and there are 2 away. And Sean O'Sullivan is coming up.
Very good sinker. Very good. And then you go back to, you look at the first 2 pitches. Pretty good pitches to hit. Then all of a sudden he comes back with a very good sinker inside.
And you feel as a hitter you have to swing at it because you think it's a strike. You only have 2 strikes. You want to go down looking. But there's nothing that he could have done with that particular sinker except beat it in the ground to third base. That's if he kept it fair.
0-2 to O'Sullivan. Sean is 1 for 10 this year. The Phillies pitchers have 10 hits so far this season. He cracks that foul past Pete Buchanan.
Be a good time for a wild pitch.
Or a homer.
Or a homer.
What's more likely to happen?
Probably nothing, neither.
Alfonso Marquez is very tight tonight. I think he'd open up a little bit with the weather.
What's wrong with the weather? Not raining. Good night to play baseball.
Beautiful night.
Wind's blowing out.
Nice play by Billy Hatcher. Saved Starr, the security guy, down in the stairwell.
Remember, Ben, whenever you have a jersey on, there's never a bad time to play baseball.
Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome, son.
Inside, 3-2. What a moment. Current conditions here at Citizens Bank Park.
Felt like I should have given him a hug.
Yeah, 57 degrees, slight breeze, and a lot of umbrellas. 3 balls, 2 strikes to O'Sullivan. And a high pop-up right side. Joey Votto, the first baseman, is under it, and the inning is over. So the Phils do tie it up after the pop-up. Matt and Ben are sharing a moment up here in the press box. We'll go to the top of the 3rd in a 1-1 game. On the mound, getting set to face the top of the order for the Cincinnati Reds. Let's check in with Greg Murphy, who's with a special guest.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, I'm here with Johnny Almaraz, the Director of Amateur Scouting for the Philadelphia Phillies, and it is coming down to crunch time because the draft is next week, June 8th, June 8th through the 10th, and the Phils have the 10th pick in the draft. So, Johnny, I know you guys have been busy, so busy that you're running yourself into the ground. You're a little bit under the weather.
I've been sick for a couple of days, but I'm getting over it.
Getting over it. So let's talk a little baseball. You do have the 10th pick in the draft to start. And first, your first year in this position with this organization. So is there a philosophy that you follow when you work the draft?
No, we're just listening to all the area scouts, all the supervisors. We're looking for the best ability out in the United States. We want to sign the best baseball players with the best abilities.
One of the questions when you come into the baseball draft, it seems like maybe more than all the other sports, is just how deep is the draft? Do you get a feel for how deep this draft is, whether it be pitchers or offensive players?
Yeah, the draft is pretty deep. There's a combination of really good players in college, high school, and even some at the junior college level. Hitters, pitchers, and middle infielders.
It's an overwhelming task, and it's certainly not something that you guys just kind of jump into a couple of weeks ago. This is a year-long process for you guys. Where are you at this point in terms of setting your board?
Yeah, right now we've got close to 800 names on the boards. We're lining them up right now, putting them in preferential order. We're discussing a lot of the players on the main board right now, which are the top 50 players across the country. And as the draft nears us, we'll be narrowing that pick down.
As Phillies fans know, as that one falls in and end up at second base, Phillies fans know that over the past couple of months, the minor leagues have kind of been replenished with some pitching. Is offense more of a priority, or do you just have to see what's there when 10 comes around?
Well, we want to pick the best baseball player, whether he's a pitcher or a hitter. We don't know at this point. It's tough to predict the draft and what the clubs are going to do in front of us. But there is a good group of hitters and college pitchers out there that we're very interested in.
The philosophy last year seemed to be, they leaned towards college players, just the one high school player picked in the whole lot. Again, is that something that you guys think about ahead of time? Do you favor one or the other?
I really don't. We're looking for the best available ability. And like I said, there's a really strong core of high school position players and a really strong core of college pitchers. Which way we're going to go, we really don't know at this point. However, college players sometimes seem to be preferred over the high school players, but there's plenty of high school players with pretty high ceilings.
One more question. Joey Votto with the RBI single there. The Reds take the lead back. But when you think about scouting, and you've been in the game for a long time, how has it changed nowadays with the video and the social media and everything, the constant information that you guys get? Is it easier now, or does it make things a little bit more difficult?
No, as a matter of fact, it's easier. We have more information to make better decisions. As far as social media is concerned, sometimes we find intangibles that can make us make a better decision. We look for players that have high character, strong mental makeup. We feel that that's the difference in a player attaining his ability at the major league level.
I bet you're waiting Monday. You can't get here soon enough, I bet.
Yeah, we're ready. We're getting there at least.
That's what fans want to hear. Johnny, we appreciate your time. We know you are very busy. Feel better as well, and we look forward to seeing over the next couple of days what happens with the organization.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. As Todd Frazier's up with a runner at first. One run is in, as Murph said, on the RBI single by Votto, who's now 2 for 2. That one sounded like a broken bat. Fly ball out to left. Ashe makes the catch, and Votto goes back to first. Well, here's the draft order, the top 10 picks. The Diamondbacks lead it off. The Astros were the #1 pick overall last year and didn't sign Brady Aiken, the #2 pick this year. Colorado is 3rd. The Rangers 4th. The Astros get another one in the 5 spot. Then, of course, the Phillies are right behind the White Sox and the Chicago Cubs.
It's funny they bring that up. 20 years to the day I was drafted.
Really?
By San Diego. Yep. June 2nd.
There's Jay Bruce over to first. Howard has it, goes to second for one, back to first with O'Sullivan covering, not in time. 3-6 on the putout at second base. Ryan Sandberg's coming up the stairs. It did look like Bruce beat him.
Well, it did, and what I liked right here is Ryan Howard. There's no hesitation. He makes the play. He comes up, fires to second base. Makes a very nice throw to Freddie. It's going to be close right there. I mean, Sullivan does a nice job getting to the base. looks like he just beat it.
Tell you what, unfortunately, the Reds have scored a run thus far in this inning, but I want to talk about Cody Ashley, what he did in that left field. He came up firing home and could not get Brandon Phillips at home plate, but what he did, he didn't air it out all the way. Let me show you how strong my arm is. He hit the cutoff man, that kept Joey Votto at first, and that kept the force play at second base. So he knows what he has to do, and he's not just airing it out just for the sake of it.
That's a great point.
Juan Samuel was talking about that yesterday as we were preparing for the ALS Festival. He was talking about what his plans were for Cody today. Obviously, the weather changed that. He said what has stood out are his reactions, but also his throws. He said his throws are stronger than you would think for an infielder making the move to the outfield. And he said the other thing is his throws are low. He said we've been trying to get guys to keep the throws down, and this is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, it probably would have one-hopped Carlos at home plate, but that would have given Joey Votto an opportunity to get to second, get in scoring position. If you're going to play third base, you're not going to go out there with a pop gun. You're going to have a strong arm, and I think that would translate to a strong outfield arm.
Out toward left field, slicing toward the crowd, and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
They tell the outfielders when you go into spring training or you're signing with a new organization and you have your meetings with your outfield coach, he says you have two jobs to do. Catch the ball and hit your cutoff man, and your job is done. That's all you got to do is you hit the cutoff man, you did the proper job. Now there's sometimes you can go ahead and air it out and throw it all the way to home plate, but
over to first, big hop for Ryan Howard, and the side is retired. The Reds do retake the lead on the RBI single by Votto. He scores Phillips. One has 2 RBIs, the other has 2 runs scored as we go to the bottom of the third. For all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, here's the question. Who holds the record for most All-Star appearances as a Cincinnati Red? Answer will be revealed a little later on. We head to the bottom of the third, and the Phillies trail at 2-1. Johnny Cueto will face the top of the order. Ben Revere, Freddie Galvis, Chase Utley. Ben had a 9-pitch at bat his last time up, and then he flied out to center field. Breaking ball in there. It's 0-1. Rain is falling ever so lightly now. Another one fought off by Revere. He had a lot of those in his first at bat. No balls and 2 strikes. Outside, 1-2.
That last pitch is what you have to be careful with Cueto. He will quick pitch you. He doesn't do the big Louis Tiant turn. He'll go no stride throw.
Well, right there, he just threw a 93-mile-an-hour two-seamer and froze Ben Revere. Second strikeout for Cueto. Yeah, there's one out. Freddie Galvis is coming up. African American Heritage Night will be Friday at 7:05 when the Phillies take on the San Francisco Giants. It's presented by the Sound of Philadelphia. Pop and R&B songwriter and producer Buddy Sigler will be here to sing the national anthem. Pre-game and in-game performances will take place, so you're going to want to be in your seats pretty early. Again, it's all part of a 3-game series between the Phils and the San Francisco Giants. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Galvis swings over the top of that 1-0 breaking ball. It's 1-1. Out to left field, and it's right at Marlon Byrd for the second out. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Jefferson, where help is all we do. Call 1-800-JEF now or visit jefferson.edu. And by Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at chevydealer.com. Umbrellas are still up. There is a slight rain that's falling as we speak. Not as hard as it was earlier.
Time you see Cueto not going to the full turn. Kind of quick pitch, Chase Utley.
It's kind of what you were talking about, Matt. I mean, he throws it in every once in a while. I guess second time through, he figures he might as well mix that in.
Well, actually, his first at bat versus Chase, he did it the first 2 times.
Very, very sneaky.
Did it again.
Utley fouls it toward the upper deck. It's 1-2.
And Chase was late. I think you'll definitely see him do that against Odubel with that big leg kick. If you get Odubel with his leg in the air, you're going to be able to. It's an easy strike or an easy out.
And Chase punches it right where Todd Frazier would normally play. That's his second base hit of the night, where he has worked it around the shift, and Chase Utley is now over the 200 mark in batting average. It's been a long road, but he is now over 200 with his batting average on the season.
You know, and I'm going to talk a little bit about pitching and hitting and not making any sense on pitch selection. Why would you quick pitch a guy with the shift on to right field? If you quick pitch a guy, you know he's going to be late. Now he has a better opportunity at the ball to left field on the ground. Now, if he goes through that big motion, the turn, throws a regular pitch, now he's going to be hitting into the shift compared to where normal players would have been up on the left-hand side. Now you're late, now you hit the ball on the ground. It's an easy base hit for him.
Yeah, I wonder if that even plays into his mind or his thought process.
No chance.
No chance. And it wouldn't have, because he wouldn't have. He's done it, what, 4 or 5 times today already to Chase.
That's a good point.
So if you have the shift on, you want him to throw sinkers away, you want him to pull the ball. Then why all of a sudden you're going to change your motion? Well, I'm glad he did. I hope he does it the rest of the night.
The ball's 2 strikes to Ryan Howard with the runner at first. Inside, 1-2. Howard pulls it right at Phillips, who goes to a knee and throws him out. And that'll do it for the Phillies here in the bottom of the third. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Pretty interesting cloud cover going on over here at Citizens Bank Park. Storms in the area. Take a look downtown. Something's moving in. Let's hope it's not the State Farm Marshmallow Man. Like Philadelphians, Avery weatherproof labels from WB Mason are built to withstand the extreme elements. Trust Avery labels with your most essential shipments. Who but WB Mason? Grounds crew was out doing a little manicuring of the playing field in between innings. There are storms all around, as everybody knows. Matt said he would never wear that. Ben, would you ever wear something like that?
I wouldn't even put that over my golf clubs.
Swing and a miss by Bird. And it's 0-1. I don't know. His hair is probably pretty dry. A 1 pitch to Bird. Check swing. Did he go? No. Phillies traded Marlon Bird to the Reds during the offseason. They picked up Ben Lively. As you take a look at this check swing. Well, you could have popped a strike on that one.
Would have been a double if he made contact.
It's not reviewable, though, so we can't take a look at it.
Can't take a look at it. He did appeal it. Down the right field line. Revere on the run. Slicing, and it is a home run. Nope, it's off the top of the fence. And Marlon Bird will slide in safely at second, and he has a leadoff double.
Ball just took off. And you look at the flags, they're going from right field to left field. Well, this ball just got up and it was like a jet stream out to right.
Oh, it hit the fence. Okay, I thought it hit that area where the camera usually sits and pinballed around. Instead, it hit the top of the fence, the bottom of the fence, and then came out. Brian Price is coming over to talk to Alfonso Marquez. They could take a look at it on their own if they choose to, if they want to challenge it. Our replay definitively showed it stayed in the yard, though. And Brian Price agrees with Marquez.
See right there, halfway up the chain link.
Yep.
Come back down off the top of the fence.
It's great having that camera out there to see that. Here's Zach Cozart. He flied to left his first time up. Runner at second. Cozart takes at the knees. It's 0-1. one's out toward right center field. Revere on the run. It's over his head and going to the scoreboard. Marlon Bird around third. He'll score. And Cozart pulls into second with an RBI double. And now it's 3-1 Reds on top. Well, no issues the last 2 innings with runners in scoring position for Cincinnati.
This ball was hit hard and loud. Fastball down, supposed to be away. Drives it to right center for back-to-back doubles.
That's what you call trading places with him.
Well, now Cueto can try to sacrifice Cozart over to third with nobody out, with Billy Hamilton, the number 9 batter, on deck. And he bunts at it and misses. They throw behind the runner, and Cozart's back.
Now, I guess this is where it pays off to have your pitcher hitting 8th and a position player hitting 9th.
If you can anticipate that, yes, it does pay off. Cueto bunts it back toward the mound, and the only play is to first. So the sacrifice is successful. 1-4 on the putout. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser is still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Taking a look downtown to Center City, and from Center City, we've been showing you some shots. Looks like it's been clearing up a little bit. Boy, it's been a weird 24 hours weather-wise. We're the first week of June. Temperatures are in the 50s. Billy Hamilton at a bunt single his first time up. He's got Cozart over at third. Already 7 hits for Cincinnati. And the squeeze is on. The run will score. Utley has to hurry in time. So an RBI for Billy Hamilton. And it's now 4-1. So you give him a sacrifice, 4-3 on the putout. Well, it's not a bad move considering the way Cueto's throwing here tonight.
No, it's not, but it's smart. Cozart can run. Obviously, Hamilton can run. It's a smart play. You have a guy that handles the bat well. He showed a bunt his first time up, got a hit by laying that bunt down. Obviously, he can do it, and something he practices doing a lot. Nothing makes a manager happier than executing a play like that.
See the guy in the glasses and the sweatshirt, Jay Bell. He's the bench coach. Folks thought that during his time as a player, he was probably one of the best bunters, sacrifice bunters in baseball.
He bunted. Jim Leyland had that man bunt every time with Pittsburgh. Even when he went to Arizona, he bunted all the time.
0-1 to Brandon Phillips. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cozart got a great secondary on the bunt that Cueto had, because it went right back to Sullivan. Sullivan. You get a great jump there and a great jump on the squeeze.
Here's another look at it. The runner at third.
He has a walking lead, takes off. Not much you can do. By the way, very nice play by Chase, coming in and getting that bunt right there.
Off the end of the bat, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Phillips. Tied a Major League scoreboard. The Marlins and the Cubs playing down in Miami, and the Cubs lead it 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Anthony Rizzo, a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Shallow right field. Ben Revere will make the catch. Side is retired. Brandon Phillips didn't even run out of the box. Well, I guess he left the box, but then he stopped. 2-run score for the Reds, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies, and by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Oh, with Matt Stairs, Ben Davis, Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. We are here at Citizens Bank Park. Great giveaway tonight, thanks to WPHT, WIP. The vintage bobblehead. That being given out to all fans who came to the ballpark. Maikel Franco leads things off. It's 1-0. Reached on an error his first time up. Over to third base. And he's going to reach on an error again.
Tell you what, Tom, your fellow great Garden Stater's not having too good a game with a glove.
It's not going to happen all the time, though, Ben.
This is a big chopper. Ball's in front of him. He's not trying to be too quick. I mean, just closes his glove too early.
Just closed it, yep.
And his eyes.
The Phillies will take the base runner, and now here's Cody Ashley, who doubled his first time up. Fourth double of the year in the big leagues for Ashley. No balls and 1 strike.
I'll tell you what, Franco, it's almost like if he doesn't swing at that strike right then and there, he's never going to get another one to hit. And I've been there, believe me. I know Matt's been there, because we all get into funks, but it doesn't mean you have to swing at everything. You know, just because he throws a strike doesn't mean you have to swing at it. And I think he's falling into that right now. If I don't swing, I'm never going to get a pitch to hit again.
And what happens is you become very easy to pitch to, because you know you don't have to throw a quality strike or a quality pitch.
Ryan Sandberg said today, he said, all you have to do when thinking about Maikel Franco is take a look at the papers today. There was a photo of Franco taking a swing, and his head was looking out to left field. He said, that's the issue. Off the hands, out to shallow left. Marlon Byrd. 1 out. Odubel Herrera's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Well, when facing Johnny Cueto, opponents know they're going to get a lot of heavy dose of fastballs and cutters. He likes to throw the hard stuff, and why not? He throws his fastball 52% of the time, and opponents are hitting just 162 against that fastball. And take a look at what he does when he gets ahead of you in the count. With 2 strikes, his usage of his fastball has gone up significantly over the last 2 years, over 50% now at this point, and his strikeouts with the fastball is close to 56% of the time. He has 2 strikeouts tonight, and both of them came on the fastball, so it's been working for him in 2015, and you got to believe he's going to stick with it as long as it is working for him, guys.
You know, and I saw that graph, and I have to admit I was a little surprised. I thought it would be more to what 2013 shows, 40%, because he has so many other pitches that are so good so often. Thought maybe he'd use the changeup more.
Tonight he's used a lot of fastballs.
0-1 to Herrera.
Man alive. Just as suspected, he did that quick slide step, barely lifted his leg. Now, Maikel Franco's not going to be running this situation, but still, you can throw off the rhythm of the hitter by doing that slide step. Knowing the hitter's got a giant leg kick, it's going to be late.
Well, this is the 7th 0-2 count of the night for Johnny Cueto. Fouls it away. 7 of the 15 batters that he's faced are now 16 batters with Odubel Herrera. And a called strike 3. Well, there was the fastball right there. That's the 3rd strikeout for Johnny Cueto.
It's a fastball right at the knees as well. Wasn't really a quick pitch, just he kind of got fooled. When the knee comes up, it's just the fact that you got to know with 2 strikes you have to protect. So you have to make an adjustment as a hitter. Go wider stance, less movement. Just put the ball in play.
Carlos spins that one right out to Brandon Phillips at second, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, 1 error. Cueto so far through 4 has allowed 1 unearned run. We'll be back at the top of the 5th right after this. Citizens Bank Park are always outstanding, and your next look at them will be Wednesday, July 1st, and then Thursday the 2nd when the Milwaukee Brewers come to town. Brewers will be here the 29th through the 2nd of July. Order your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Top of the 5th inning, and Joey Votto will lead things off for the Reds. Votto is 2 for 2, a double, a single, 2 RBIs. It's his 20th multi-hit game of the year. First pitch outside with a changeup. 1 ball, no strikes.
Did he lose weight, Matt? Votto?
He has. He became a vegan. So he's slimmed down.
Full-blown vegan, not a vegetarian, vegan.
Vegan.
Balls, no strikes to Votto. And he takes on the outside corner, 2-1. Big swing and a miss, 2-2.
Threw that one right by him. Tell you what, Sean O'Sullivan has gone up against some really good opposing pitchers. Max Scherzer 3 times. A.J. Burnett, who's having a brilliant year. Noah Syndergaard. In those 5 starts, combined 1.71 ERA. So.
Check swing, slowly left side. Galvis has it, throws on the run, just in time to get Joey Votto.
Dan Bellino's been busy down there tonight. A lot of close calls at first.
Yeah, he's had some tight ones.
Nice play by Freddie coming in, making a nice play and a strong throw. And a very close play at first base.
Here's Frazier. He's 0 for 2. He's popped out and flied out. Takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
This is the at-bat right here. Frazier's having a tough day on defense. He wants to make someone pay right now.
First career multi-error game for Todd Frazier.
Well, that was the pitch to do it with. Surprised he didn't come out of his shoes on that one.
Yeah, the book on him is to, if you are going to get him out, is to just keep creeping toward the outside part of the plate. He's a strong kid, though. Jeff Brantley, who does the radio for the Reds, is saying that he's a 35-34 bat. Up high, 3-1.
The problem with that is if you don't get it out far enough, he does have very good plate coverage. And he can hit the high ball and he can hit the low ball.
Fly ball, shallow right field. Utley is out there. He calls off everybody. And there are 2 outs. Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, boys, here we go. Who holds the record for most All-Star appearances? As they read, the Reds, of course, are hosting the All-Star game this year. Ben Davis, do you have an answer?
I do.
You do?
I'm going to go with Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench is correct. 14 All-Star appearances.
That's a lot.
I saw you guys wrote down Larkin. I
had Larkin.
Oh, you did?
He said Bench right away.
Breaking ball, and it's 0-1 to Jay Bruce.
I never got to watch him play, but from the people that I know and talk to, my dad always said Johnny Bench was the best.
Can't believe you didn't get the bell.
Yeah, no bell. Hey, thanks, Matt.
Did you ever have the Johnny Bench batter up when you were a kid?
No.
You know, did you ever have that, Matt, up in Canada? They ever have that up there?
What?
The Johnny Bench batter up. It was a hitting. I mean, you put it in. It's a metal pole. You put it into cement and you hit it. It just keeps coming back to you. I had a ton of those.
I thought that was called tetherball.
No, tetherball isn't that a big, like the size of a volleyball? It is the theory, though. Yeah, I used to go through those Johnny Bench batter ups all the time. You have to get the rubber bands replaced all the time. You never had one of those, Ben?
I don't recall.
I never heard of them before.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Jay Bruce. And he pulls that one through the hole on the right side, a base hit. Two-out single, and it'll bring Brian Pena to the plate.
No, Tom, we definitely did not have the Johnny Bench batter up.
I'm telling you, they're kids. They're not kids. There are adults out there that had it when they were a kid. I'm telling you. Outside, it's 1-0 to Pena.
Matt and I are taking a look at it on our computer here. No.
Hours of fun.
Any hits on it?
I hit on it all the time.
You batted 1,000.
I sure did. That one's at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. I remember as it advanced, you know, they had different versions of it as the years moved on. As it advanced, it became stronger because you used to knock the ball right off it if you hit it too much. Later on, though, they gave it a little extra support. Fly ball left field, Cody Ashe. And he'll make the catch, and that'll do it for the Reds here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-1 Cincinnati. Phillies.com/scholar for more information on that extraordinary scholar being honored here at Citizens Bank Park. It's for 2014-15 sophomores and juniors with a minimum GPA of 3.0. Write an essay sharing how you are contributing to the common good through service. Again, go to Phillies.com/scholar for more information. 4-1, Reds on top. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Sean O'Sullivan will lead things off for the Phils. O'Sullivan popped out his first time up to Cueto. First pitch from, or excuse me, to Votto. First pitch from Cueto is in there. It's 0-1. Tapped back to the mound. Well, Johnny Cueto certainly does not look like a guy that has a tender elbow the way he's throwing today. With one away, Ben Revere's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Well, Comcast Sportsnet and the Comcast Network are on the case as they try to figure out who the toughest athlete in Philadelphia history is. It all started yesterday on Breakfast on Broad and Philly Sports Talk. Candidates are out there, and fans can voice their opinion by logging on to csnphilly.com and /Philly Tough. You can also get them on social media. Some of the candidates, guys that we know, guys like Tug McGraw, maybe Darren Dalton, perhaps. But I got to tell you that my vote for the toughest Philadelphia athlete all time would have to go to Concrete Charlie, Chuck Bednarik. He would get my vote. Now, they're going to reveal all of this the week of June 22nd. We'll see who came in first, but plenty of time to get in on the action with your opinion. So I'll leave it up to you guys to give your opinion right now. What do you think?
I agreed with what you'd said, Murph, about Chuck Bednarik, and then if not him, then I would say Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier.
I mean, you know, no disrespect to the others. There's a broken back ground ball to third. Frazier's up with it. And there are 2 outs. Head of the bat went out toward Brandon Phillips. And that'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate. Matt, Ben, you got Galvis, buddy?
I'm going to say Darren Dalton.
I knew you were going to say.
I'm going to say not because he's a catcher, well, kind of, but I just think people at home watch
Darren Dalton.
Watch Ray Langford run over Darren Dalton.
That's the one I remember.
Think of that,
yeah. And
all the recent tribulations that he has gone through as well. You're going to be a tough man to get over that, and he caught all those games in that heat on the turf at the Vet. Darren Dalton. All right, Matt, which hockey player are you selecting?
I'm a Ron Hextall fan.
Okay.
He was tough.
It was tough. Is that Murph?
It was Murph, yeah.
Oh, I'm still playing, yeah. Is that all right with you?
Dave Schultz.
Hey, you know who else is on the list that I thought was pretty cool? Don Staley is on the list. And rightfully so, if you ask me. Talk about a terrific ball player and a terrific coach in Philadelphia. Don Staley, among the toughest athletes in Philly history.
And she's doing a heck of a job down in South Carolina now as the head basketball coach there, as Freddie Galvis pops out to Zach Cozart. Phillies go down in order. We've completed 5. We head to the 6th inning. The Reds up 4-1. is swinging his bat into the third month of the season as he did from the leadoff spot a season ago. Tough times at the plate in April turned into productive results in May. Back at the top of the order, Ben sets the table and sets the pace for Phil's offense, looking for a burst of energy. He's moved from center field to left and over to right. He's delivering from all corners of the outfield. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, there is Ben out in right field, patrolling a different spot than he was last year, than he was early in the season. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It's 4-1 Reds on top. Marlon Byrd will lead things off. Byrd is 1 for 2. Marlon, of course, drafted originally by the Phils and then traded off to the Washington Nationals before re-signing with Philadelphia last year. Spins one foul over the screen. It's 0-1. Today is the anniversary that Ben was drafted by the Padres. Today is the anniversary that Marlon Byrd was drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies. Going 2.
They're staying hard with Marlon all night. It's fastball after fastball.
Ruiz wanted it up. That was a little too far up.
Sounded good.
Glove was popping. They'll say that hit Marlon Byrd in the hand, that breaking ball or changeup, I guess it was. And he'll go to first.
Changeup kind of rides up and in. Slips right off the fat part of the hand.
The top hand.
Top hand, yeah.
Yes, it does.
He's got a little bit of wrist right where help me out, Tom.
The edge of the batting glove. The strap.
The strap. Thank you.
Figured we'd get there eventually. So Byrd leads off first. Here's Kozar, and he lifts it out toward left center field, and that's going to drop for a hit. Marlon will stop at second, and it puts runners on first and second with nobody out at the top of the 6th inning. That's the second hit of the day for Kozar, and that's the 9th hit overall for the Reds. Johnny Cueto, who sacrificed his last time up, looks like he's going to be up there to sacrifice again. I think the Phillies bullpen's going to get going a little bit. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Bob McClure out to the mound as DeFreitas and Araujo loosen up. This will give us a chance to throw out get well wishes. And you think about a night like this, how the folks, the ushers, the fans, of course, but the ushers, and all the folks working out in the ballpark, how much they have to endure with the way the rain is coming down, the cool temperatures. And one of the guys that's part of the operations department here with the Phillies, Andy Motions, is recovering from Achilles surgery. Snapped his Achilles tendon. Oof. Andy's a young guy, too. He's got some youngins going around the house. Got to take care of. Wish Andy a very speedy recovery.
Situation right here, first and second on a guaranteed bunt situation. Got to be very aggressive on the infield and try to get the out at third base. You got to keep this a 4-1 lead.
There's a strike. It's 0-1. Yeah, so if you get the same bunt you had last time, Matt, then Howard maybe cuts it off and throws to third.
Right, and I think what you'd like to see right here is you see Freddie standing close to second base. You want him to come in back around the back side and then all of a sudden break hard to third base, and you need the corner guys to charge extremely hard. So you have to get the out at third base. There's a good chance if he lays the bunt down, everyone's on top of him, he's smothering them. That way you get a strong throw to third base with Freddie Galvis covering to third base, and he can come up and fire across the infield because Cueto doesn't have that great speed. But you have to keep it a 4-1 game right now.
1 ball, 1 strike to Cueto. And he bunts it toward third, and it just died in the grass. Ooh, they still try to go to third. He's out at third base. Marlins just going to hang there. No, maybe he's not. They'll take a look. The Reds will, and decide whether they want to review it. I was shocked that O'Sullivan did aggressively go to third because that ball just died in the grass.
Well, and you have to. And you see he comes up and makes a strong throw to third base.
Oh, he got it.
He did get it.
Yeah, Marlon's foot never got to the bag.
And it was a definitive 3-3-3 by Chooch.
I think it was what you were saying too, Matt. I mean, you gotta cut that guy off and keep this at a 3-run deficit.
Well, you have to. And if Cueto would have got the bunt closer to third base, then Franco would have had to come in and field it and throw him out at first base. But you have to get that out at third base, and they did. Nice play by O'Sullivan.
All right, so now you have Hamilton, who's bunted twice today. Once on a squeeze, that was last time, and the other one for a bunt single. The runners lead off first and third. Big rip, and it's 0-1.
And that's why they call the catcher the field general, you know, the quarterback, because if Sullivan's charging, he can't see the runner. His back is turned. So Chooch has the whole play in front of him. It's a very aggressive call. But you're right, Matt. They had to make a play and be bouncing off that mound to get him at third.
Over toward first. Howard's got it. Goes to second for 1. That's all they're going to get. A couple good throws by Ryan Howard. We've talked about how he has struggled with his throws over the years, but he's made some pretty good ones here tonight.
And they're smooth. You know, they're not, there's nothing herky-jerky about it. He's just very smooth and confident in what he's doing. It's something that he definitely did work on a lot. Realizes who's running, doesn't rush it, makes a good throw.
Well, that's going to be it for Sean O'Sullivan. He'll be lifted after 5 2/3 with runners on first and third. Second trip out to the mound. So they'll bring in Justin DeFreitas to try to get the last out here in the 6th inning with the Phillies down 4-1. Play of the game. Oh, this may help the Phils out in the long run. or I should say the Reds out in the long run. This suicide squeeze by Billy Hamilton. You got this kind of speed, you better be able to bunt.
Well, you do, and it's putting a lot of trust on your hitter. Hamilton, a very good contact hitter, very good bunter. Perfect time for a squeeze. Got a down, easy run. Smart move by the Reds.
On a night like this, when the conditions aren't the greatest, as the rain falls here at Citizens Bank Park, Sean O'Sullivan allows 4 runs, 9 hits. He's responsible for the runners at first and third. Here's Justin DeFreitas. 24th game for DeFreitas, 0-1, an ERA of 4.07. Runner goes from first. The pitch is taken for a strike, no throw, and Hamilton steals his 22nd stolen base.
Should be defensive indifference. You're that fast.
Did he really need to slide?
No.
He was practicing his sliding. Inside corner, 0-2.
You always slide in the bases.
What, do you think he was going to slip and just keep on
Oh,
going?
I mean, you could. You break it down, you get a hamstring, quad, knee, roll your ankle. The safe part is you slide into second base because he's going about 140 kilometers
He was
an hour.
moving. He was kilometers. Here's the 0-2 pitch. A pie, 1-2. Ben, can you get your calculator out and figure out what 140 kilometers
I
is?
cannot. That I cannot do, Tom.
Production cavity is telling us it's about 84 miles per hour.
Too quick.
Goes Art at third, Hamilton at second. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Marlins have come back against the Chicago Cubs. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead it 4-2. Marcell Ozuna has 3 RBIs. Hopped about 2 feet in front of the plate.
Nice play by Chooch there. That may hit him on the inner thigh, which is always the worst. Oh, off the forearm.
Which is always the worst.
Second worst.
Yeah. Fastball hit in the air to left field. Ashe going back on it toward the fence, has room, leaps up and makes the catch. And the side is retired. Well, it stays in the ballpark and it keeps it at a 3-run deficit. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left for the Reds. This one had a chance when it left the bat. Cody Ashe, though, to the spot, makes the grab, He's done a nice job in his handful of games out there in left field so far. You buy right. Buy Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com and buy Bud Light Live, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Some crab fries under the heat lamp. Just out there for the taking. Stop by.
I took my wife over there the other day.
Did you?
First time she's ever had those French fries. She was impressed.
Can't stop once you start with them.
No.
Chase Utley leads it off here in the bottom of the 6th.
I say that just about everything I eat, as you guys have witnessed.
Utley rips it down the right field line. Foul, and it's 1-1.
Actually, I think I might go over there tonight after the game now.
Really?
Yep.
Just a bit low, 2-1. There's no hockey on, right?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Guess that means I'll have to go tomorrow night too.
That one's whacked out toward right center field. Bruce going back. It is gone. A home run for Chase Utley. For Chase, it's his 3rd hit of the night. It's his 4th home run. And it's now a 4-2 ball game.
Changeup up in the zone.
Yep.
Nice short swing, head down, through the ball. Look how much he finished the swing there.
Yep.
Chase usually swings and stops with a complete follow through.
Brian Howard, a check swing ground ball back to the mound. Cueto will throw him out. There's one away. By the way, with that home run by Chase, we're going to give away $200 thanks to the McDonald's home run jackpot. It'll go out to Sheena White for Reading, Pennsylvania.
This is a nice short swing, and I'm really impressed going through the ball, head down. Watch how high he finishes. He never does that.
Never.
Power swing right there. Nice to see.
Well, I know we talk about average and numbers and with every player, but his is up to 209, considering it was under 100 after the first month of the season, just about. Certainly has not been a blink of an eye, but he's worked hard to get it where it is right now. 22 RBIs for Chase, 4 home runs. And Franco scalds one down the left field line. Bird will get to it before it goes to the corner. And Michael goes to second. That's his second double of the year.
Well, it's no secret what Cueto's trying to do to him. His first 2 at-bats, obviously Frazier had the errors, but they just want to pound him in. And if anything, Franco is smart and cheats a little bit, gets that bat head out, gets the barrel out, and shoots a past Frazier this time for a pair.
And that ends an 0 for 14 for Michael Franco. Well, it'd be nice to get this run home. The Phillies down by just 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Change up to Cody Ashley. It's 0-1. Cody doubled his first time up, fly to left his last time.
I told Cody today I was very impressed. You know, we had the big festival, ALS festival yesterday, and balls that had already been signed by some of the players. I told Cody, I said, "Oh, you know, Cody, I'm very proud of you. You can read your autograph." And he looked at me like, I said, "You know, it's something you take pride in. And every time you get a ball, I could read Cody Ashley on the baseball." I said, "Keep it up." He said, "I will."
Well, you're proud of him for that. You're proud of him for his efforts, and all the players yesterday, and you guys too. Their efforts at the ALS Festival raised over $800,000, and now it's over $16 million raised.
Amazing.
Since the Phillies began the relationship with the Philadelphia chapter of ALS. But Cody and his wife Angie designed the T-shirts, which we told you about a few weeks ago before he went down to Lehigh Valley. Those were on sale last night. I bought a couple. Murph bought one. But there we go. $786,146 was raised last night. Since '84, when the fashion show was the first thing they did, $16 million has been raised. Incredible.
That is awesome that they can do that.
It is so well run. Silent auction. There's so many great items. You see the Reds bullpen warming up. Ryan Matthews, the righty, Manny Parra, the lefty. Every roll's a winner. We're literally fans. Every time they roll, they win something. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ashe. And out front of a off-speed pitch. 4th strikeout for Johnny Cueto, and there are 2 outs.
That was nasty.
Best changeup of the night so far.
And you're getting worn out by fastballs inside, so you want to quicken up a little bit, and then he drops that changeup on you, and that's just good pitching.
Jake Diekman. Broken bat looper back toward the middle, picked up by Cozart, and in time, and Herrera's retired. Well, Cueto's also broken a bunch of bats. He does give up the home run to Chase Utley, and the double to Michael Franco. We've played 6 on to the 7, and the Reds lead at 4-2. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Well, Johnny Cueto's been excellent today. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts. Joey Votto's got a couple RBIs. Chase Utley is 3 for 3. While the rest of the Phillies have struggled, 2 for 22. We're already into the Phillies bullpen. Justin DeFreitas pitched 1/3 scoreless in relief of Sean O'Sullivan to finish up the 6th. And now as we go to the 7th inning, it'll be Jake Diekman's turn. Diekman, 6.87 earned run average. Sean O'Sullivan wound up going 5 2/3. He allowed 9 hits, and he's charged with 4 runs. So the Phillies rested bullpen, if you call one day off, enabling them to get enough rest. Will be utilized the rest of the way here. It'll be Votto, Frazier, and Jay Bruce. Lefty, righty, lefty. I'm not really sure what Joey Votto's doing, but he's getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out. First pitch is a fastball in there. It's 0-1. One ball, 2 strikes. And an awkward swing by Votto, and there's 1 out here in the 7th. These lucky fans are today's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. And that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank. Well, Matt, I know you were chuckling at Joey Votto's swing because you've been there. It's one of those I've been there, done that.
That is a right on it.
That's where you walk back to the bench and go, man, I don't know how I missed that ball.
Here's Frazier, who chops it towards short. And Freddie Galvis let it play him. That'll be his 8th error of the year. Freddie had plenty of time to get in front of it if he wanted to. But even if he was going to continue backhanding it, this is a play that should have been made.
Well, you see right there, flat-footed. Like you said, Tom, the ball played him.
So the first error of the night for the Phils. We mentioned the 7th or 8th error, I should say, for Galvis. He was charged with his 7th during the off day from the play that was missed out in Colorado. First pitch is over for a strike to Jay Bruce.
Chase had a good off day. He got another hit.
That's right.
And Freddie had a bad off day. He got another error.
And Elvis Araujo had a good off day because the ERA went down. That one's through the hole on the right side, a base hit. Frazier will stop at second. And that puts runners on first and second with 1 man down. Powerball goes off on Wednesday and Saturdays, 188 million. Of course, the Mega Millions, which I did play last week, Tuesdays and Fridays, 260 million.
$260 million.
Yep.
10 million more than A-Rod's contract. He signed a $250 million deal.
And then he signed another one.
Yeah, he signed two $250 million deals.
It's remarkable. Remarkable. Pena's 0 for 3. Bob McClure going out to the mound to chat with Jake Diekman. Well, that's why, because Garcia just got up to start throwing. We'll discuss a little Brian Pena here too.
Especially from the right side.
Yeah. A lot of times in the meetings, you'll have a scouting report, scouting meeting with left-handed hitters, right-handed hitters, and they're probably just going out and giving them a little reminder
That he's a switch hitter.
that his strengths. Well, I'm hoping he's a switch hitter because he has the bucket on, the double ear flap.
Certainly a double play candidate if they can get the right ground ball. Frazier's at second base. Jay Bruce at first. First pitch is in there. It's 0-1. Brian Pena is playing for the injured Devin Mesoraco, who had a solid year last year for Cincinnati. Ruiz blocks it to make it 2 balls and 1 strike.
An all-star year. He signed a big contract. Punxsutawney High School across the state. But they said April 18th was the last day he caught. He went for a pitch and his hip just kind of locked up on him, and he's actually heading to New York tomorrow to go see a specialist. So hopefully it's not that dreaded labrum in your hip.
Did you ever have those problems as a catcher, labrum problems in your hip?
I did not. I was not going. I was blessed. My legs were, to this day, I had no issues, and
Except for your calves.
except for my calves.
When he goes for a run on the beach.
Why would you go for a run on the beach?
That's one. Why would you run, period? 2, after you did the one calf, why would you go back and do it again and do the other calf?
It's called being a glutton of punishment.
Too many foul tips.
Yeah, so his legs are fine, but
Cabeza?
his helmet's not.
That squash is not.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Pena with runners on first and second. Lays off 97 on that tailing fastball. 3-2. Negron is in the on deck circle to pinch hit for Marlon Byrd. Back toward the box. Diekman's got it. This time the throw is clean. The second for 1. Over to first in time. I said this time because the other day Diekman bounced it to Chase Utley, who was not covering. This time he helps Freddie Galvis get through the 7th, shake off that error. Time to stretch. And they'll send the bottom of the order up against a new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. 2015's Food Service Breakout Player of the Year is W.B. Mason, providing amazingly low prices on kitchen disposables, consumables, smallwares, and so much more from your new restaurant partner. Who but W.B. Mason. Brendan Bosch takes over in left field for the Reds. Marlon Byrd was hit by a pitch earlier in this ball game, and that may be the reason why he's lifted from this game. Ryan Matthews in his 7th game. Reds got him from the Washington Nationals, who have a terrible bullpen. But they felt like Ryan Matthews was expendable. They put him on waivers to hopefully get him down to the minor leagues, but he was picked off waivers by the Reds. 7 innings, 4 strikeouts. It'll be Ruiz, and it looks like, at least at this point, Darren Ruff is out as a pinch hitter for Diekman. In what is just a 2-run ball game. There's Darren. Oh, not a bad night for Johnny Cueto. I guess he answered all the questions about his sore elbow. I think this is the best I don't know what you guys think, the best we've seen him throw in this ballpark. He hasn't thrown here since 2012, but his numbers were terrible here at Citizens Bank Park.
They were not very good, that's for sure.
7.23 ERA. It's terrible.
Ruiz pulls it foul down the left field line, and it's 0-2.
We talked about Ryan Matthews, 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, tops out at 94, slider, and a split finger fastball.
Reds bullpen has been better since the 1st of May. In fact, in April, their ERA was over 5.5. In May, their earned run average was just over 3.5. Jeff Pico is their pitching coach. Brian Price, a former pitching coach, now the manager. 1-2 pitch. That one's hit back softly to the mound. Oh. And 1 away. The pitch hitter for the Phils, Andres Blanco's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph, I just saw you up here in the press box level.
Yeah, I'm fast. I'm now far away from the press box, and about to tell you this about Joey Votto, because over the weekend he reached a milestone for the Cincinnati Reds. He actually played in his 1,000th career game in Major League Baseball. Becomes the 16th Canadian-born player to play in 1,000 or more games. Larry Walker tops that list at 1988. And look who's number 2. Our very own Canadian, 1895, Matt Stairs. 1,895 games, Matthew. Well done.
Thank you.
How come you didn't stick around long enough to pass Larry Walker?
I was thinking the same thing.
Look, I was lucky to stay around for 1,895.
Ben, have you played the most games for Malvern Prep? It's not as big as Canada, but
I think so. Not sure, but
Matt, of course, will go into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame this year. Excited about that. What's your induction class? Who is it? You?
Felipe Alou.
Felipe Alou.
Corey Koski.
Yep.
Carlos Delgado. Some pretty good hitters.
Very good hitters.
One great manager.
And who was a good hitter?
Yep.
Foul territory. Frazier over toward the dugout and off the roof.
And Mr. Bob Elliott.
Yeah, Bob Elliott, the columnist from the Toronto Sun. Toronto Sun, right? Toronto Star. Sorry.
very cool. That is a great honor, Matt.
Thank
it really
you.
is.
I was happy that I made that painting right there. I designed it. I didn't do the painting, but I designed it.
I was going to say, you're very
good.
Artistic. Swing and a miss. Look out. Blanco loses the bat. So he is struck out. Ball, the bat went down the stairwell. Tucker didn't have to go too far to pick up that bat.
Oof.
Cuidado. Which means, Matt,
Watch out.
be careful.
All right, Ben Revere is now up. Revere is 0 for 3. And Ben is now 1 for his last 15. And make that 1 for his last 16. 2 comebackers for the Phils in this inning. They go down as quiet as you can. It's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. On to the 8th inning. The Reds lead the Phillies 4-2. Three varieties at $4.99 each. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And buy Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Top of the 8th inning. 20,000 hearty souls on hand tonight. The rain falling just about the entire game. The grounds crew's done a great job making sure the playing field has kept up its end of the bargain. Luis Garcia in his 26th game. Ponchos, rain gear, umbrellas. Hopefully the weather will turn in the next couple days. It is supposed to get warmer in the next couple of days again. I mean, it was blazing hot this weekend here at the ballpark. So Garcia will face Bosch as we start the 8th. First pitch is a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1.
I'll tell you, the Phillies pitchers have done a very good job of preventing the big inning tonight. They're losing 4-2, but they had a couple innings where they prevented the bunt from getting down. You know, Diekman avoids the leadoff error by Freddie Galvis, gets a big double play ball to end that inning. So they've done a good job of keeping the Reds from scoring when they could have led to big innings.
Fly ball, right field line. Utley is out there backpedaling. Revere comes running in and makes the catch. One out. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition, 1-2-3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. That's the thing, Ben. I mean, it is only a 2-run ball game. You know, it's certainly not a insurmountable deficit here.
No, especially when the Reds have 10 hits. They have 10 hits, but it's a 4-2 game.
That's Jumbo Diaz warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, it is.
Inside to Zach Cozart, and it's 1-0. Ponchos certainly aren't going to keep you warm tonight, but at least keep you a little dry. Good pitch. Slider had him way out in front.
You know, Matt and I sit here and laugh like we never did that.
Well, I think we can laugh because we've done it many, many times. And once again, you just sit back and go, man, I was right on that ball.
How did I miss it?
Well, now let's see if he can put him away with the count 1-2. Same pitch.
Honestly, I mean, I've taken a lot of those swings, and probably 95% of the time I would actually turn to the umpire and say, was that a good pitch? You know, as we see this nice slider right here by Garcia, late break. And I'd say, was that a good pitch? And you'd say, yes. I said, was it a good swing? And they had no idea what to say.
Well, they were lying to you about the pitch, so they probably would have, if they would have thought about it, they could have lied to you about the swing. Here's
Gotta have fun this
Schumacher.
game. Gotta have fun.
Schumacher, the former Cardinal and Dodger, over with the Cincinnati Reds. He's been used primarily as a pinch hitter. Overall, has averaged .233. That skipped right on by Ruiz. Unfortunately, went right between the legs of Alfonso Marquez, the home plate umpire.
That could have been very painful right there.
Yes, it could have. Wow. Didn't flinch.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard, Game 2. The Blue Jays are getting their revenge. They lead the Nats 7-3. Bottom of the 7th inning. Kevin Pillar, the rookie, 2 home runs. Is he not considered a rookie anymore?
I don't think so.
What about those catches he made earlier this season out in left field?
Amazing.
Pretty good.
Today is his first ever multi-home run game. 3 balls, 1 strike to Schumacher. And there's ball 4. So 2-out walk. And here comes Billy Hamilton. Time now for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. This came early on. Out in center field, Billy Hamilton.
Came way back in the first inning. Hamilton comes a long way playing shallow center field. It's a great diving catch to rob Ben Revere of a leadoff knock in the first inning. Scoots on for a little while. Big smile. And that's why it's a defensive play of the game. Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Well, Hamilton is a converted infielder. With the adjustment to the outfield. That one is knocked down by Garcia. He still has to hurry and does, and gets Hamilton by plenty. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. Bottom of the 8th inning. Freddie Galvis will lead things off when we return to Philadelphia. against the Giants. All fans 14 and under will receive the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 98 Ken Giles t-shirt. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Giants are coming in for 3 games beginning Friday night. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Rockies this past weekend, the Reds this week. And then the Giants. 23rd game for Jumbo Diaz. 2-0 with a 5.85 earned run average. 23 strikeouts in 20 innings of work. And he will face Freddie Galvis, Chase Utley, and Ryan Howard. Of course, the Reds closers are Aldis Chapman, so if you want to get a run or two, this is the right time to do it before Chapman comes in. Although the Phillies have had some success against Chapman. Not a whole lot. Many teams don't.
This man has.
Yes, he has. Galvis 0 for 3 tonight. 0 for his last 16.
Freddie, a great shortstop. I was looking up Johnny Cueto from San Pedro de Macorís. They call that the shortstop capital of the world. Freddie, not from there. He's from Venezuela. But some players that have come out of there just will blow your mind. Sammy Sosa, Robinson Cano, Alfonso Soriano, George Bell, and all our favorite, Juan Samuel.
Juan Samuel. The ball's at 1 strike to Freddie Galvis, and he fouls it back. It's 0-2.
Well, Jumbo Diaz has a good arm. Tops out at 98 miles an hour, and he also throws a slider and a split finger fastball.
Just a bit inside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Freddie breaks his bat, and then Brandon Phillips will come running in to put it away. And there's 1 out. Well, it's time to bring the lumber. Chase Utley's doing that. Brought to you by Elwood Brand Pressure Treated Pines. Home run in his last at bat.
He's got a pitch up in the zone. Drove it to deep right field for his 3rd hit of the game. That's why he's bringing the lumber.
It's his 3rd 3-hit game of the year. Since May 15th, he's hitting just about 400. And that's why his pace has picked up, why his average is up to 209. He was 9 for 91 at one point.
It's nice to see his work getting rewarded. And you got off to such a terrible start. I wish the people at home could see what we see in the time that he spends in the cage, in the video room. I mean, it is relentless, the amount of work that he puts in.
Blow it in. 1 ball, 1 strike to Utley.
I take it Jumbo isn't his given name.
I think there's a pretty good bet. Utley hits it out towards center field. Hamilton on the run, and he'll close a couple steps from the warning track and put it away. There are 2 outs. Jose Rafael Diaz, better known as Jumbo, 6'4", listed at 315 pounds. Thought maybe they give him a different name, like maybe Tiny or something like that. Here's Howard. Howard is 0 for 3. Ryan now 1 for his last 23. And he cracks that one out toward right. Jay Bruce can't get it. He lost it in the lights. It goes to the wall. And Howard's on his way to second. And he's there standing. He kind of went after it somewhat awkwardly where he was having trouble picking it up.
Yeah, he lost it in the lights. I mean, that's it's a fastball down the zone. You can see right there he's fighting it the whole way. The swing, it's a bad feeling for an outfielder because you don't know if you're going to wear it in the chin, the gut, anywhere. But we'll take it for a double.
Well, I mentioned Howard's stretch. He had been 1 for 23, 0 for his last 10, so that ends that stretch.
1 for his last one.
Yep.
Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, that doubles his 12th of the season. Maikel Franco doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Reached on 2 errors, both by Todd Frazier.
The big piece deserves that one as well. All the balls he hits hard into the shift. They'll never even out. Matt and I will tell you, they say they even out. They never do. Ever.
No chance.
But
if they evened out, everyone would be a 300 hitter.
Of course, the pitchers would say they always even out.
Yeah, of course.
Inside 2-0. Different perspectives. Good breaking ball. The rain has picked up. It's been pretty much the same pace most of the night. I think it was raining harder early on when the game got underway. That one's belted deep to left field. Fair or foul. It is gone! Home run, Maikel Franco! He's just tied this baby up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 2-run blast. It's a 4-4 game.
Hurt my ears, Matt. That was loud
and far.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever see a hanging slider when you need to see one, you're going to see it right here. Slider inner half. A nice quick bat speed. Foot down early. Threw the ball. And as soon as he hit, he knew it.
What extension he had.
I mean, look how long. You're not going to see many balls go that far in that area.
Went on the concourse.
It went on the concourse. It went right past HK's statue. So it's a 4-4 game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's Cody Ashe. And Cody hits it right toward Brandon Phillips, who knocks it down and then picks it back up again.
How bad does Jay Bruce feel right now?
On that ball hit by Ryan Howard that he lost in the lights. May have cost Johnny Cueto, or it has cost Johnny Cueto, a possible victory. Maikel Franco has tied this ball game up with a long home run down the left field line. Look out. The Phillies and the Reds even at 4 as we go to the top of the 9th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. pitched on a couple errors earlier on, then got a double. But how about this home run? I mean, he just teed off.
Yeah, this is the third pitch of the at bat, a 2-0 slider. He's looking dead ready. He's like, okay, all right, I know you got that one. I know you got it. I see it. I see it come out of your hand. And here comes the W.B. Mason delivery of the game. That same pitch that he recognized earlier. As I said before, Tom, yaka! Ties it up 4-4, and that is your W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Well, now Brandon Phillips. Phillips is 2 for 4. He has singled and doubled against Jonathan Papelbon, who's pitching here in the 9th. The foul tip, it's 0-1.
I'd love to get a distance on that.
See if we get the estimated traveling distance on that home run. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
I'll have to ask Pat if he changed anything with this slider. Because on Sunday, Tom, we were mentioning how good his off speed has been this year.
Jumbo Diaz, who gave up the home run after the misplayed double by Jay Bruce, who lost it in the lights. Markell with that home run. The Phillies' second hit with runners in scoring position in 32 at bats. No balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Phillips. Swing and a miss. He got him. One away. One out. Time for the Major League Notebook. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, we have an update on the National League All-Star balloting, and there's been some movement. Now, Bryce Harper still leads all National League voters at number 1. Cardinals' Matt Carpenter is number 2, but Buster Posey now the 3rd leading vote getter. So the list looks like this. It's Harper, Matt Holliday, and Giancarlo Stanton in the outfield. Posey's behind the plate. He passed Molina. Adrian Gonzalez at first, D. Gordon at second, Johnny Peralta at third, and Matt Carpenter at, Johnny Peralta at shortstop, Matt Carpenter at third base. That is the latest voting, and of course, voting ends on July the 2nd, so you still have time to vote for your National League All-Stars. Guys?
Adrian Gonzalez having an outstanding year for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And D. Gordon, he and Stanton both from Miami. Gordon obviously has ties to the Dodgers, but really moving along as far as the vote goes at second base. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And guys, I'll give you an addendum to the Major League Notebook because this just in. Joey Gallo, who was called up by the Texas Rangers today, their number 1 prospect, in his second at bat as a major leaguer.
Yeah,
he went yard for the Texas Rangers. So pretty good start for the youngster who's playing third base while Beltre's out with an injury.
Man, a ton of home runs in the minor leagues. Split fingered fastball, 1-2.
Votto blew some out in his back on that one.
There's Aroldis Chapman. Tony Cingrani. One ball, 2 strikes. High fastball, 2 outs. We're talking about moving the ball around. That's exactly what Pat's been doing. And doing effectively.
High fastball, climbing the ladder. Canadian couldn't hold up. That is a powerful swing, though, isn't it? Straight uppercut.
Straight uppercut. He just had his way with him. Last 2 batters.
There's Frazier. He reached on an error his last time up. Swing and a miss, 0-1. 1-2 pitch. Lays off.
It's a good pitch because he had him looking out over the plate for that slider again. He could very easily double up or go back out there with that slider.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Frazier. Over to third. Franco charges, has it, throws on the run. What a flip! In time to get Todd Frazier. He can hit it and he can pick it. At least that's what he's shown here tonight. An outstanding defensive play by Michael Franco to get Todd Frazier to wrap up the top of the 9th inning. Well, he certainly has shown he can flip some leather. A 1-2-3 9th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Phillies and Reds tied at 4. Friday night, it's African American Heritage Celebration presented by the Sound of Philadelphia. Don't forget, Saturday's game is a 3:05 start. And then Sunday, all fans 14 and under will receive that great T-shirt right there. Thanks to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 98. It's the Ken Giles T-shirt. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning, 4-4. And Tony Cingrani is the new pitcher, his 19th game. 23 strikeouts and 20 in the third. He'll face Odubel Herrera. Thought maybe they would put somebody up for Odubel instead of having lefty on lefty. Odubel Herrera, then Carlos Ruiz, and then the pitcher spot. Uh-oh. Murph's got a Major League Notebook update. Murph, this has to be important.
That's going to Texas.
This is kind of exciting. This is an addendum to my addendum of the Major League Notebook. I don't think that's ever happened before. But thanks to the good folks at Twitter, and I just verified it. Joey Gallo, the young man we were talking about, Texas Rangers, how about a triple short of the cycle in his Major League debut? And that game is still going on right now. So it's only the 6th inning. So he's got a chance at the cycle in his Major League debut. So thanks to the folks at Twitter for that.
All right, Murph. Here is Odubel. Shows bunt, takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Odubel tonight is 0 for 3. He does have an RBI. One ball, 1 strike.
Good swing there.
Reds jumped out to a 1-0 lead to start the game, and then the Phillies tied it in the second. Then the Reds took the lead in the third, 2-1, added 2 more in the fourth. And then the Phillies chipped away. A run in the 6th and then 2 in the 8th. And there's a line drive base hit down the left field line heading toward the corner. Herrera's on his way to second, and he'll get there standing. It's a leadoff double here in the 9th inning. And the winning run is at second base. Jonathan Papelbon is getting himself ready just in case. Nobody told him he wasn't batting yet. But Carlos Ruiz will be first up.
Well, and one thing, Papelbon, everyone knows he's not going to be hitting the situation. But what it does is he's on deck, and you don't know if you want to get a lefty or righty up in the bullpen. If Frenchie comes up to hit, you're going to get a right-hander real quick warming up. So a little delay tactic going on.
Well, here's Ruiz up there to sacrifice, I would assume, guys. What would you say?
I would think so.
He squares, takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Papelbon has dropped his bat a couple of times in the on-deck circle.
Nervous.
There's Francoeur, there's Darren Ruff.
Paps did this on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
And spring training.
He got up the top step and they pulled him back almost immediately.
Instilling fear in the hearts of the Reds.
Carlos bunts it foul. He jabbed at it. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to get that runner over to third. And Pap has just been tapped on the shoulder, so Darren Ruff will take the spot in the on-deck circle. Time is called.
Assuming he does get the bunt down and Odubel gets to third, Darren would pinch hit. Why they would most likely walk him.
Well, you'd have to go to Ben Revere versus the lefty. Then again, Ben's tough to double up.
And he does bunt
Nice
toward
job.
third. He'll get the runner over there easily. Sacrifice is successful. The winning run is 90 feet away. Don't forget, coming up, Phillies post-game live. Marlon Anderson's in town to give his full analysis of Game 1 between the Phils and the Reds. Only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies post-game live. Sacrifice goes 5-3. And now they'll chat on how they're going to handle Rupp. Jeff Pico's coming out. Yeah, I would think, I'm with you guys. I think they walk him intentionally, and then you have Galvis, or you have Revere, then Galvis to deal with 1 out.
You have to.
Well, and I'm also kind of surprised that they didn't have a right-hander up. I mean, they got a full bullpen. Manny Parra,
Yep.
who's another left-hander. You know, of course, Chapman coming in and throwing us the mere 101 miles an hour. So, interesting to see that they would not have a right-hander available right now for this situation.
I would say you have to walk him, even if Ben Revere comes up. Even if you don't double him up, you still can look back Herrera. You know, even if it's second and third, then you got Freddie Galvis coming up, and you're going to pitch to him.
Saw Kenny Giles warming up. The infield is in. Runner at third. The pitch to Ruff. Outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Get a pitch up in the zone. In, out, I don't care. Just make sure it's up.
The 1-0 pitch. Well, it was up, and he fouled it back. I'm shocked that they're pitching to him here. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a pretty good fastball, but it's a very good swing, though. Just at the bottom half. And really, in this situation, like Ben said, you get a fastball or a pitch up in the zone, but you really think about driving the ball back at the pitcher in this situation. Don't want to try to pull it. You want to hit it right back up the middle.
And he loops that one into right field. The ball game is over. The Phillies' 7-game losing streak is over. An RBI pinch hit single for Darren Ruff. And the Phils have come from behind to win it 5-4 over the Cincinnati Reds.
big is that? Saying inside the baseball. His thumbs might be bleeding, but it's a game winner, baby.
RBI game-winning single for Darren Ruff. The Phils down 4-1. Scored a run in the 6th, the 2-run home run by Franco in the 8th, and now the game winner here in the 9th inning. And you saw Darren Ruff, he's our Chevrolet player of the game. That's a nice way to end a 7-game losing streak.
Well, it is, especially on Sunday, having an opportunity in the 7th inning, the bases loaded. Now all of a sudden he comes through tonight, day off. Now it comes with a fastball inside, and like you said, Ben, keeping the hands inside might not be pretty, but it depends on where you hit the ball. It's a game-winning knock.
Oh, I thought it was beautiful.
Hey, give some credit to Odubel Herrera. He needed to get on, and not only did he get on, he got into scoring position, and then Ruiz sacrificed him over to third. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with Darren Ruff. Murph?
All right, thank you very much. Well, yeah, the game-winning hit. Sometimes you only get one chance in the game of baseball, and it's a particular game you made the most of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we battled all game long. Pitchers did a great job keeping us in it. Franco had a huge at-bat. And, you know, these are the games that you need to win when you battle all game. And luckily I got to make a difference tonight.
You know, this team, it's been struggling, and you needed a win, and you're going to get a little. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I tried to help. You know, the losing streak is over at this point, but just, you know, to get a win like this and maybe try to turn things around in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we had to win at some point, you know, and I'm glad we got to turn around quickly. Coming off the day off yesterday, got, you know, 9 in a row here, I think, so hopefully we can, you know, get back on the winning track here.
Whipped cream or shaving cream? I can't.
Shaving cream. It doesn't taste very good.
Darren, thanks for your time. Congratulations on the hit. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you. We appreciate that. Well, a nice way to end a 7-game losing streak. A great way to end the night. Darren Ruff here in the bottom of the 9th inning is one for the Phils the opposite way. Jonathan Papelbon will get the victory, and he was watching it the entire time. He scores Odubel Herrera, and the Phillies win it 5-4 to take game 1 of this 3-game series.